Thank you to my patrons for supporting my work and making this video possible. If you want to see exclusive behind the scenes content, chit chats, and be a part of the making of a beautiful illustrated world featuring the bunny and the bear, go to patreon.com/ChristineMyLinh. For the majority of my life, I struggled with fitting in. I felt like an outsider, someone invisible, never good enough, and stuck. I blamed my luck, my life, my circumstance for all of it, and sometimes I blamed other people for treating me that way. It was unhealthy, and I knew I needed to change. This is a story of how I became a perfectionist, and how I am learning to redefine who I am, to change my life. It is a story of the past few years intertwined with captured moments of my present self as I create and clean. This is a part of my healing process, and I'm sharing it with you. Ever since I was 3 months old, along with my lazy eye, I had eczema, an angry red rash that mainly covered my neck, arms, and legs. They would come in cycles, healing and itching and healing and itching. Some people asked if I was contagious, and that broke my heart and stayed with me. As I got a little older, not only did my scars, but the creases where my rash lived, especially the rings around my neck, became unwantingly noticeable. I felt different, like the wrong kind of different. But I didn't want to be. I wanted to belong, and I wanted to know what it felt like to be included. So I became obsessed with keeping up an image, looking and acting put together all the time, which meant pretending to look confident. I wanted to look like the people on screen and the people around me who seemed so confident with their makeup and their clothes, so natural, so beautiful. Maybe if I looked and acted close enough like them, I would feel like them, unburdened. I learned that looks mattered, and I did as much as I could to hide my imperfections. I remember in middle school, I wore a turtleneck, long sleeves, and long pants to cover up my skin in the heat of summer when it was unbearably hot. Maybe if I hid it, I'd seem normal, I thought. When I was in my first year of high school, a boy told me that I would be prettier if it weren't for my lazy eye. I was rated a 6 out of 10. After that, I made sure to look down at the ground or away from other people's eyes. I made sure not to make eye contact. I tried to hide my eyes. Thinking back now, as children and teenagers, we were cruel, and I didn't know I'd be carrying these moments with me for over 2 decades. All I knew then was that I was being judged for everything, so I had to hide everything that was out of place. I was a walking contradiction. I hid, but I also wanted to belong. It was frustrating and confusing. Eventually, this obsession with my appearance made its way to my surroundings, my space, and my things. I saw them as an extension of myself, so I kept my things clean like they were brand new. I made sure to stay organized, and I hid my clutter. I never showed anyone my clutter, and if they did see it, I would immediately explain it away. I had to acknowledge it. I had to make sure that they understood enough not to judge me for it. I guess, in a way, striving for perfection was my way of trying to build a new reputation, to fit in. And at some point, I learned that if I listened intently, did the things that people wanted me to do at the expense of my own needs and wants, they would approve of me. And that's when I felt like I was good enough. I was worthy. But it didn't work, because at some point you realize that you actually can't be who you're not. Because after a lifetime of doing this, you break under all of that weight. Comparison creates resentment. I ask questions like, why was life so unfair? Why could they be successful but I can't? Why'd they look like that but I look like this? To be honest, I wasn't planning on sharing this video or this story like this. I actually didn't want to share this with anyone. It's embarrassing, and it's so far from the perfect Instagram, YouTube stuff. I even thought about waiting until my studio was done, when things were perfect, tidier, more Pinterest-like. Then I'd be ready to make art again and to share. Because to be an artist means that you need to exude the aesthetic of an artist. You want to be presentable, photo-worthy, and ready. Make sure your space, your face, your clothes all work with how you want to be seen. Let it show your style, who you are, and let it reflect the art you make. That is an artist. You live and breathe your art. You are your art. But it's not. It was my twisted idea of a modern day influencer-driven idea of an artist. It came as a result of everything I was struggling with, especially fitting in. I believe that if I look like them, the other successful artists out there, be seen like them, then I'd be like them. I'd be a successful artist too. The only thing this belief was actually doing was stifling my creativity. I didn't come to this realization within one moment, and it wasn't a quick change. So this Epson paper, it's matte. You can see the color is just so bright and vibrant, and the gold details just stick out. So I added this little section here. Look at that. It has a good balance now. So this piece is good. The color's a little bit off. I have to do some color adjustment, but look how beautiful this is. I love this. It looks so good. These turn out so well. It was a combination of many small moments in which I caught myself refreshing the page just to see the number of likes, views, and all those other vanity metrics go up. And when they didn't, I was well aware of how deflated I was, how uninspired, and that led me to binge eating and some other forms of fleeting relief and distraction. I wasn't being as productive as I could have been. I was just wasting time. And I grew in resentment because my space, my things, my life, they were not looking the way I wanted it to look, like social media perfect. I just couldn't accept how things were. It was a debilitating cycle, and I was tired of feeling tired, of being so lost in this made-up thought of chasing approval. I had to decide, do I continue to pursue this unachievable and unrealistic form of perfection and drown in resentment? Or do I take the time I need to untangle myself from this pressure? To find the courage to look inwards and acknowledge this mess, my mess, and let it all go. And then, just maybe, I can stand up for myself. To actually start the process of change, I had to replace these bad habits with better habits. I listened to so many podcasts, read so many self-help books, wrote a lot, and went through and am still going through therapy to unlearn lifelong beliefs and their effects on me. I had to develop new rules, routines, and experiment with different ways to get here. And I asked myself, what is perfection anyway? And what does it really mean? And why do I see it as important? Slowly, I learned to accept myself for all that I am, flaws and all, and to accept others for who they are and where they are. To understand that they are them and I am me. It seems like such a simple concept, but it was profound for me. I started to see people I used to envy as examples of what was possible. I started to open my mind to the possibility of learning from everyone or everything around me, and that's when my thoughts changed. What can I do now, today, with what I have? How can I make the best of the situation? What can I learn in this moment? How can I help someone today? Acceptance and gratitude made space for inspiration. How magical is that? After my dad passed away, I started to realize that there's more important things in this life. And most importantly, I realized that life is too short to be anything but yourself. Deep down, I knew I wanted to make art that mattered, to tell meaningful stories, to help those that needed someone on their side who got them, understood them. I knew that I wanted to make art for my younger self, my inner child, who has been struggling with feeling like she belonged on this earth, let alone among her dreams. So I am listening to my thoughts more, and I'm beginning to unravel them. Keep the ones that help me progress, energize me, and discard the rest. It is a long process, and I'm still on it. I did learn to manage my eczema, which is a long and ongoing story in and of itself, so I might share that another day. And for my lazy eye, I got LASIK, which helped a lot. It does still tend to wander from time to time, but that's okay, because I am just grateful that I'm able to see. This video, this story, it's more than 2 years in the making. I would not have dared to share my temporary studio space, the current state of my actual studio, the mess you see in this video, my face or my clothes or any of this the way I really am with you before. There was no way I would have done it. Even in the middle of making this video, I still had my doubts. Should I share this or not? But something is pulling me to share. I want this story to encourage you to go make something beautiful. Reach into your imagination and turn the ordinary into something truly extraordinary. Because you don't need anyone's opinion to do that. And you don't need to be anything but yourself. It's raining right now. So pretty. For the majority of my life, I believed that everything outside of me defined me. That all of that stuff made me a successful person, a good artist. Today, I know that my art and creativity starts from within. Having a beautiful space is a part of my dream, but I am still worthy without it. I don't need a fancy space, and I don't need to be or look like anything other than myself to create art or share my stories. Right now, I just want to say thank you for showing me patience as I figure out my way back. And a huge thanks to my patrons for supporting my work, giving me the space and audience to try new things that I wouldn't have dared to do before, allowing me to grow in confidence in myself and my ideas. So I invite you to become a patron too, to see more from me behind the scenes, how I do what I do, and to receive this limited edition postcard and sticker set you saw me prototype in this video. To be eligible, you need to sign up for the Notable Nani Bear tier on Patreon by September 7th and stay an active patron for at least 4 months in the Nani Bear tier. I already know the real set is going to be even more beautiful and so much more sturdier. It'll be like a collector's item, and I want you to have it. So click the link in the description or follow the link on the screen to sign up. If you can't join Patreon for any reason, it really is not a problem. You can still receive weekly encouraging stories and illustrations, plus shop and other updates by signing up on my website at blushandmay.com. This is the best way to stay up to date with me, if not Patreon. I want to end this video with a reading called Be Beautiful, Be Yourself by Thich Nhat. If you can accept your body, then you have a chance to see your body as your home. You can rest in your body, settle in, relax, and feel joy and ease. If you don't accept your body and your mind, you can't be at home with yourself. You have to accept yourself as you are. This is a very important practice. As you practice building a home in yourself, you become more and more beautiful. I hope we all find home within ourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. If you don't want to be spoiled and you don't want to know how this video is made or anything along the lines of anything at all, then this is the chance for you to just close out of the video and I will say goodbye. But if you're curious, I wanted to let you know, since it's all about transparency here, now, going forward, I shot this video for the last 2 weeks and I've been wearing the same outfit every time I shoot. So I always feel like I'm shooting a movie where I have to wear the same costume. Okay, so I want to add, why did I still want to go through with this? That is because the original plan was supposed to be done in 1 day, but I ran into so many difficulties that it was stretched to 2 weeks. And why didn't I just give up on the idea? That's because when I have an idea, I'm very determined to see it through. I'm so curious to know what it looks like and how it will turn out. So even though the video was edited to make it look like it was 1 full day, it was not. It was 2 weeks of planning, of scripting, and a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So yes, I hope I did not spoil things for you. I really hope that I made you love this video even more. And I hope to see you guys soon. Goodbye.